Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing an updated curly hair routine. I did one a year ago and a lot has changed since then, so I'm going to do a new one. We're also going to be trying the Bounce Curl Brush dupe because I'm in the UK and it's a lot of money to ship that authentic brush here, so I got a dupe. We're going to see if it's any good and how to use it because I've never used it before, but that will be the styling part. Most of getting your curls right and getting the results that you want and curly from the root, etc., is about technique, and it all starts in the shower. So let's go.
So this is the shampoo and conditioner I use, the Curl Jelly Wash from UMBERTO Giannini whole collection. So that's the shampoo, this is the conditioner, and then the MVP of the whole routine is the Scrunching Jelly. This is their most sold product. Like, I feel like anyone with curly hair has tried this and most love it. So obviously you just need to wet your hair. The wetter your hair is, like, the longer you wet your hair for, the better, because curly hair loves and needs moisture. When you shampoo, you just want to put it on your root. I use quite a lot of shampoo, conditioner and jelly, but you just want to put it on your root. Anything excess you can kind of work through your the lengths of your hair, but shampoo you want to focus mostly on your root. This is where the camera starts getting foggy, so I apologize, but you can still see fine. So yeah, that's why it looks different. So rinse that out. Next up is conditioner. The Frizz conditioner from the Curl Jelly Care line from UMBERTO Giannini. I'll put all of this in the description as well. But you basically just want to put this in the lengths of your hair. Again, any excess can obviously go into the root, but you want to focus the majority of it on the lengths and the ends of your hair. This gives your roots more volume because it's not weighed down by the conditioner. I do still put it into my roots, but only whatever's left over on my hands. Then you want to use your comb or your brush. This is a tangle teaser. I'll put these in the description. Just comb the conditioner through so it's evenly distributed through all of your hair. This, I feel like, is the thing that makes my curls super defined and volumized. Put your head over and comb your hair through, and then comes the infamous curl jelly, scrunching jelly. I use a lot of this. I do find when I first started using it, it's trial and error figuring out the amounts and how much you need to use for your hair, so bear that in mind. I put it in, I smooth it in with praying hands, and then I scrunch it, and then I comb it through just like I did with the conditioner so that it's all distributed. And then, yeah, I just scrunch it and keep scrunching until, I don't know, till I don't want to scrunch anymore. This is what it looks like when I get out. I sometimes put this in a bonnet or a t-shirt like I am doing now, just to kind of keep the water from out of my face. But I don't want to use anything that's going to give me any extra frizz.
So now we're here. You could use a bonnet for this part or you can use a t-shirt. I use a t-shirt. We're doing it a little bit different because we're going to try the brush, so don't be alarmed by the hair right now. Trust the process, it's fine. So I'll leave a link to the description, to this in the description. It's from Amazon, like this. So this is the brush. It's got these in it for even sections. So I'm gonna just get my tangle teaser and I'm gonna comb all of this out, and then we section off with, this is doubles as a sectioner, so we'll section the hair off and then use this to make clumps. Scrunch it, so that's what we're gonna do. It's my other tangle teaser. I have two, one's for the shower and one's out the shower, because otherwise I lose them. So anyways, I'm just gonna brush this all out. I haven't done any drying whatsoever because I want it to be soaking wet whilst I style it. Otherwise I would have just started drying with the t-shirt, but no, we want it wet through all of this, soaking wet through all of this. If it does dry out a little bit, you can use a spray bottle to bring it back to wet, but my hair personally takes a long time to dry on its own, so I probably won't need it, but I do have one in case. So that's all brushed out. So now I'm gonna just, already made a little pint for myself there. I'm gonna just use this to section this top part. I'm actually gonna section a little bit more of this as well. So the top bit's sectioned off. I'm still gonna do more sections. It's up to you obviously how many sections you want to do, but I feel like the more the better. This is not something I would do every day because you shouldn't be doing your hair every day anyway. But so I'm just gonna get into the styling and talk you through what I'm doing.
So obviously, as you saw, I sectioned everything off. I'm then taking the brush, brushing the section through. Sometimes I use a tangle teaser, but it's just really up to you. And then I'm rotating it and using a bit of tension so that all the pieces fall through the ridged, you know, the edges of the brush. And then once I've done that and I can see that each bit is sectioned properly, I scrunch. When I've done a full section, I used UMBERTO Giannini curl whip, which I'll also put in the description. So that's what I'm doing now. And that's what they look like. So then I do the same on the other side, section it off, run the brush through, making sure it goes through the edges of the brush. Scrunch it. I don't do the curl whip until the very end of this whole section. The curl whip can be messy at this stage because your hair is so wet, but yeah, I just do that and pretty much repeat all over my head until I get to the top section. So now I'm at the top section and I'm going straight across with the sections instead of trying to do a middle part. This should give you more volume at your root. So I'm going straight across with the brush and then doing the same thing I did to all the hair, scrunching it and then flipping it back. I do actually have a front fringe, so it's a little bit different for me, but I don't really like it. So I've been just masking it by doing it the way I would do the rest of my hair. So then this is all of my hair. I put my head over and I'm going to do curl whip obviously through the section I just did, but also kind of through all of the sections at the same time. And then we get on to blow drying. This is where your t-shirt comes in handy. You don't want to be using a towel or anything like that because it causes friction and therefore frizz. So just use a towel, a t-shirt, and use that to scrunch the excess water out. I find that it also gets a little bit of the curl whip out as well because I definitely use too much, so that's great. So now I'm using my hairdryer. This is just kind of you can use any old hairdryer, to be honest. This one's from Lano, but I basically use it on a heat and low pressure. So I never put it up to the maximum pressure, and you don't want it on super hot. But the main thing first and foremost is you need to dry the roots. The roots need to be dry before you move on to absolutely anything else. So low heat, low pressure. This does take a while. But if you have a gel cast from using the scrunching jelly like we used earlier, I feel like it does speed it up a little bit because the gel starts to set. So I just go around in these rotating motions, and that seems to work. And I wouldn't say it takes that long. It probably takes like 5 minutes maximum, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. So it depends on if you think that's a long time or not. To me, I don't think that's very long. But yeah, so I'm just going to dry my roots and then we'll move on to the next thing. So next I put it on a cold setting, and again we're still on low or medium heat. This only has a low and a high setting, so I'm on a low heat pressure, and we've switched to cold. So the way I do this is I have it off and then I cup my curls into the diffuser and put it against my scalp, and then I turn it on there. I don't go up and down whilst the hairdryer is on because I feel like it creates more frizz than necessary. So when it's on my head, the air is coming out, drying. Obviously, if you have cold air, it does take a lot longer. You can use warm or hot air. It's obviously just don't burn your scalp, and you do get heat damage that way. So because I had time today, I just went with cold. But yeah, so I don't have the heat on the whole time. I just have it on when it's on my scalp, and then I turn it off, and then I remove it, and then I cup the curls again. I feel like it's easier to cup the curls in the diffuser as well because they're not being blown around by the air pressure coming out. So I'm just going to do that and repeat to my whole head, and I'm going to flip my hair from side to side as well, so it's not all it's not going to dry all stuck in the same place. So that's how I blow dry it.
So this is my hair right now. I'm not gonna flip it over. It's hard to the touch, but I think it still needs a little bit more drying. And don't get me wrong, I would never do this in the morning. It takes a long time. But if you have curly hair, no matter what technique you use, drying your hair takes a long time. So this is no more extra time than usual, but it's, I'm gonna leave it for a little bit now. I'm gonna leave it for maybe like half an hour to an hour. I'm gonna put it in a bonnet so at least it's like on top of my head. And then I'll be back in an hour and we'll crunch it out and see the results. I did also want to say that my shower routine is a routine I rely on. I do every single time. It gets me great results every single time without this. The only difference would be if you weren't using this is you just comb it out with the comb that I used in the shower, because the point of this is to give you even sections that will clump together as even sections for definition. So if you have something that is the Denman comb, which that comb I use is also from Amazon, I can link that in the description as well, then that will also work. I just was really interested to try this, but my usual routine would be with that comb, and I just comb it out. And the same thing, I actually don't usually section either. I just comb the whole thing out. I do have a video on this, so I'll put it on the screen, but I comb it out and then I scrunch the curl whip, which is this, in. And then I do the same process from there. So that's the only difference, is the brush styling to what I'm doing now versus what I do on a weekly basis. But I'm gonna put my bonnet on. Let me go get my bonnet. This is my bonnet. It's a drawstring bonnet, nothing crazy. I'm gonna just feed my hair into this. Opens really wide, that's what I like about the drawstring ones. And then all my hair's in there. And you just use the drawstring, put it closed. And then your hair's sitting on top. It's not gonna fall backwards. It might fall back into the back of this, but you should have done enough drying to where your roots are dry. Your roots need to be fully dry before you even move on to doing the rest of your hair, so your roots shouldn't really lose volume or anything, even if it does fall to the bottom part of this. Shouldn't be an issue. But I'm just gonna leave it like this now for an hour. If I didn't have that kind of time, I would just keep blow drying it. It would just be a case of that, but I like doing a bit of both when I have enough time, because I think it helps, and also it's a long process. It means I don't have to keep doing it. I can let it air dry a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna let it do its own thing and settle by itself for a little bit. So I'll be back, for me in an hour, for you in 1 minute, and then we'll crunch it out together and see the results. So see you in a sec. So it's been an hour, just over an hour. Let's see, I can feel through the bonnet that the hair is really hard, which is great. So let's take this off and crunch it out and see what we've got going on. This is it. Hold on 1 second. So this is it, so I'm gonna flip my hair like this. It feels really like, I can feel there's a lot of moisture in my hair, which obviously is always the objective. It feels not dry as in it's not wet, obviously. But do you know what I mean? It feels like it's not wet anymore. It's fully dried, but it's like I can feel how locked the moisture is in there, so hopefully it's all completely dry. So I'm gonna just take this Got To Be Oil-licious argan oil. Looks like this. I'm just gonna take a little bit because I don't love putting oil in my hair, to be honest, but I'm just gonna take a little bit, literally one pump. That actually feels like a lot. I don't really want oil in my hair, I just want it like my fingers and my hand to glide, be able to glide onto it and not have things stick and pull. So I'm gonna throw my head over and I'm gonna start scrunching. So this is my hair after using, wow, this Amazon brush. Let me show you. I'm gonna be completely honest. My hair has never been this curly. I really mean it. My hair has never been as curly as this. Let me show you fully the back if I can. Only thing I think I'm gonna do is just take, I've got a pick. I'm just gonna pull my head over and then I'm just gonna go onto the roots. I'm not gonna pull or anything like that. I'll show you though. But I think some of the hair is stuck to the roots like here. So I'm just gonna put my head over and just in the back. And obviously that's underneath anyway, so who's bothered about that? This is my hair after using, I wouldn't normally get this result. My hair would always be curly after my routine, definitely, but not as curly as this. Look at that. Oh my god. Wow. And that is from using this. Oh my god. I'm obsessed. I wonder what it's gonna look like tomorrow. I might film tomorrow as well, and I can show, it can be a little refresh routine if I need to refresh, or how I sleep with it. But oh my god, that is a huge difference. And that was from this brush. You saw me use it. I'll leave the description in the, I'll leave the link in the description, because this was, I think, £7. £7? I don't even think it was 7. I think it was 6. And look at the result. That's my hair. That looks like I've curled it. And it's soft. Oh, wow. Well, I guess that concludes this vid. That is a roaring success, in my opinion. So, okay, well, thanks so much for watching. This was a great little experiment. I'm glad that we did it, because like I said, I'm very impressed. Just some of these hairs that are, the root is stuck. This is where the pick is so handy for stuff like that, because it really doesn't disturb anything, but it gets in there enough to wiggle it around without adding frizz. But well, great success. Check the link. Also, I have a 20% off code for all Umberto Giannini products if you buy online, so I'll leave that on the screen. My code is Jada20, but I'll leave it in the description and I'll put it on the screen as well, because I used all Umberto things, and don't get me wrong, I don't know if you saw, but I swear by them. I always have, so I'm not only using these things because I have a code for them. Honestly, you couldn't even look back at my past videos. I live, laugh, love Umberto, and I would never use anyone else. Personally, for me, they work every single time. My whole shower, every product in there is by them. So don't come for me on that. So I have a code for you that you can use. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you let me know if you tried it. Let me know what else you want to see from me in the future, curly hair wise. If you want to see every Umberto product review, how to use it, what my thoughts are on it for my hair type. I would say my hair type's like 2B, 2C, but I can give my honest thoughts on each product. If that's something you'd be interested, I could do a refresh routine, how I sleep with it at night, whatever. Just let me know. Anything you want to see, let me know. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.